Capcom, released on the PlayStation 4, the PS5, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S, and the PC, released on March 24th, 2023.
Bill me for the repairs later.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Top's Evolution, where we'll be taking a look at some new gameplay for the up-and-coming Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, certainly at some point you have heard of this game. I mean, it's literally the remake of one of the biggest games released in 2005, and also one of the better and well-known Resident Evil games, to have ever been released. And you won't find anyone who's going to argue that. I mean, some gamers think it's the best game that was, ever to come out, and also the best Resident Evil game, which kinda... it is true. Depends on your preference. I mean, it's kind of it's an up tier game. It's a really up tier. I kind of enjoyed it, and I actually played it on multiple different platforms. I really recommend you actually give it a try, the old one, a try before the remake is out, just to get familiar with the game, or just try the remake. It doesn't matter. But this game is gonna be fabulous. I mean, it's gonna have improved soundtracks and visuals and a more smoother and updated game. The Resident Evil 4 Remake will see Leon on his journey to rescue the president's daughter from a weird village filled with mutated villagers and some terrifying monsters. Resident Evil 4 Remake is a upcoming puzzle, survival, horror third-person action-adventure shooter fighting game being developed and to be published by Capcom.
Your soul requires cleansing.
Ashley Graham, are you in here?
Just let me go.
Listen. I'm hearing the president's orders and...
What is that? What do we do?
The Lost Lambs are escaping.
We need to go! I'm gonna get you home safe.
You can stop right there.
Ada, who are you? And what are you doing here?
My faithful disciple will show her the path.
Ashley, run!
The entire world shall overflow with his grace.
What's happening to me?
Now, abandon your body.
Leave the girl. She's lost no matter what.
Now that he has chosen death,
God, you gotta be kidding me.
Turns, of course. Leon arrives at a dense and dangerous forest. We want to nail the feeling of loneliness and fear of not knowing what lies ahead, even more so than the original. Of course, there will also be thrilling battles. People that played the recent Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 should find this familiar.
Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh?
You will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
Onslaught, everything felt equal parts incredibly familiar and unsettlingly different. The sequence of events were almost identical, but the graphical and design improvements made the locations feel noticeably more lived in, claustrophobic, and haunting to explore.
What was that?
Despite my experience with the original, I still found myself nervously tiptoeing around every corner, with the anticipation that at any moment something unexpected could happen. Much like in 2002's Resident Evil Remake, elements were strategically organised to subvert my expectations. A highlight in that remake of the original was the Resident Evil 4 remake. I experienced similar twists in my short playthrough, one of which also relates to a dog. Fans of the original will fondly remember the opening chapter's unfortunate dog trapped in a bear trap, and how the game gave you the option to release him. You may also remember his triumphant return, if you saved him, when he assists Leon to defeat an El Gigante. This time around though, the dog is still there, but he's already dead. Did I not reach him in time? Or was this a signifier of the noticeable shift towards a darker tone for this remake? Either way, this brief moment laid the groundwork for a game that is not necessarily going the way I expected.
What the hell's going on?
Where Resident Evil 4 does feel incredibly familiar though, is in its combat. As mentioned previously, with Capcom remaking its classic library based on the ideas pioneered by Resident Evil 4, it was only inevitable that the game would feel the most familiar. Controlling Leon still feels exactly like you'd expect, and he even maintains some of his iconic moves from the original. It was only a matter of seconds before I instinctually began shooting at kneecaps and lining up roundhouse kicks, knocking down anyone that was in the proximity. The muscle memory instantly kicked in and it all felt extremely satisfying. That's not to say the combat doesn't have any new inclusions though. Beyond the expected update to aiming that now allows you to move, which, although a staple of the genre now, wasn't allowed in the original, there's also some light stealth gameplay. It wasn't particularly advertised to me through a tutorial or anything, but with the addition of the crouch button, it became apparent that I could avoid the attention of nearby Ganados, who now has a light parry system with his knife, being able to resist or deflect attacks with a well-timed button press. I didn't get time to explore the depths of this system, but it did come in handy when confronted head-on by the chainsaw-wielding burlap sack-faced maniac himself, Dr. Salvador. In a flash, I was not only able to resist the full power of the chainsaw, but the deflect also managed to shut down his tool for a few seconds, opening up a window for me to make a run for it. The area is tighter and it feels overwhelming in the best possible way. Dr. Salvador can now destroy wooden structures to block your path, enemies will flank you from every corner, and some even grab and hold you from behind for their fellow Ganados to attack you from the front. It feels like every second and decision counted as I desperately wiggled through the herd trying to survive. Despite being familiar with the scene, there was still plenty of surprises to be had, especially considering many moments could easily be missed depending on your strategy. Climbing up the bell tower no longer felt like a safe space, thanks to the floor collapsing beneath me, and the previously static cow observing all the chaos can now be spurred into action should its barn, unfortunately, catch on fire.
Kill me for the repairs later.
Despite a flaming cow running past being initially upsetting,
Well, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, peace out and stay safe. Released on the PlayStation 4, the PS5, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S, and the PC, released on March 24th, 2023.